Buttons as input controlling a NeoPixel. They should be wired properly. This video is for you to set up your make code. You can pause it as needed. So let's start a new project, Buttons and Neo. And then if you don't already have the NeoPixel extensions, you're going to have to click on extensions. You can type NeoPixel or it's probably there from earlier. Now you have the NeoPixel blocks and let's start setting up our code. We're going to start with this LED block under LED More. And what it's going to do is we're going to find this block that says LED enable false, meaning false, do not enable the LEDs. And what that does is it frees up a bunch of pins on your extension board to be able to use. So we're going to go ahead and do some basic coding. We're going to set up the icon to make sure that it got downloaded. That'll, of course, go away as soon as you disable the LEDs. And now let's set up our NeoPixel. Same as before, you should have it wired to pin 2. It has 12 LEDs wired to pin 2. So now the microbit knows where to look. The other thing is I like to change the brightness. That maximum 255 brightness is a little bit too much for me, so I'm going to lower mine to 40. So why don't you pause the video, double check that your start code looks like this, and then we can continue. You want to create a variable called red, which stands for the red button or key 1. And this red button then we're going to set into the forever block. And now we're going to go down to advanced pins and tell the microbit what pin the red key is wired to. And it's wired to pin 1. That's where it should be wired on your extension board. So set red to digital read pin 1. Now we're going to go to our logic loop and we're going to place it under there and we're going to tell the microbit what to read and write. So if the red button is being pushed, then it should do something. So we're going to use the comparison. So if red equals 0, then we want you to write to the NeoPixel, which again is found on pin 2. So change that. So we're going to leave these both as 0, and then we're just going to say, okay, if the red is 0, meaning it's being touched, then please do something. In this case, we're just going to show the color red because it's a red button. So show the color red. Now we're going to duplicate that for else, and we're going to change this to 1 because when the button's not being pushed, we want it to do something else. So we're just going to have it clear. This is what your final code should look like. So pause the video, look very closely, make sure your code looks like this. When you're ready, download the code and test it out on the microbit, add it to the extension board correctly, and the red button should make the red NeoPixel. There you go. That's what it looks like correctly. Make sure the microbit's facing out. And then the red button, when it's pressed, should make that red LED lights appear. Okay, good luck. You'll continue to the yellow, the blue, and then the green button.